Tony Romo says he's getting close to returning from back surgery. I'm Jim Basquel with the latest ESPN headlines. The Dallas Cowboys quarterback expects to be on a pitch count as he works his way back using the baseball vernacular. Well, we get the analogy. We are joined on the phone by Todd Archer, who covers the Cowboys for ESPNDallas.com. And Todd, this is a player that had a cyst removed from his back during that surgical process in the offseason. What can we expect from Romo physically when he ultimately does get on the field, and can that be week one of the season?
Oh, he'll be ready week one of the season and ready to go for training camp when they get to Oxnard, California in the late part of July. The Cowboys are just being super cautious with this. Different than last season when he had the cyst removed and they didn't put him in any of the off-season program. Had the discectomy there in December before the Eagles game, and it's 5 months, and he's feeling a lot better, and he feels like he's close to being ready and full go for an off-season. And honestly, that could happen maybe in the June 17th minicamp where he gets out there and does everything. But I think early on they just want to work him back into the process slowly.
Hey, Todd, when it's all said and done, it's all about results on the field. This surgery aside, and I know this is a big issue, but the surgery aside, the Cowboys will be on their third different play caller in 3 seasons. This go-around it will be Scott Linehan, who will be given the duties. How do you suppose that will impact Romo and the Cowboys' offense with regards to those results on the field?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this works because, the people that Romo's worked with closest, Jason Garrett has been around since 2007. Bill Callahan has been around since 2012. So he had a little bit of a working knowledge with those two guys. And now Scott Linehan comes in from Detroit, where he's been the last 5 years as the offensive coordinator. You look at what the Lions are able to do with Matthew Stafford, Calvin Johnson, throwing the ball all over the place, actually throwing the ball more than the Cowboys threw the ball. Romo said he's excited to be working with Linehan, believes he has a great mind for the game, and he's someone that you get the feel the in-game adjustments will be something that the Cowboys will be more fluent with in 2014 than maybe they've been in the past. Linehan's excited to work with Romo as well. He's had a talented quarterback in Stafford who can throw it all over the place. But now he's in an offense that's probably more well-rounded with DeMarco Murray, Jason Witten, as opposed to Calvin Johnson being the focal point. So the Cowboys, if they're going to get back to the playoffs and end this 8-8 run, a lot of it is still going to be dependent on the offense carrying the day.
Todd, you just touched on it. Under Jason Garrett, their head coach, for all intents and purposes, this has been a mediocre team, a break-even team. Not too bad, but not good either. 500 across the board in a sense. At what point does the pressure ratchet up with regards to expecting results on the field for not only Jason Garrett, but for Tony Romo as well when it's in the decision of Jerry Jones?
Well, for Jason Garrett, it's win or else in a lot of respects. He doesn't have a contract in 2015. Tony Romo does. He'll be this team's quarterback in 2015, 2016, so he'll have a job. For Jason Garrett, though, 3 straight years of 8-8 has put him on the hot seat. Do I think it's a situation where the Cowboys could make an in-season move? No, I don't think they'd go there unless it just would crater like it did in 2010 when Wade Phillips got off to a 1-7 start and Garrett was made the interim head coach. You look at what Garrett's been able to do. They've been building and not calling in a rebuilding process, but they have an offensive line in place. They have good skill players. Now they're banking on the defense being better this year, and not just because it can't be worse than last year, but because of Sean Lee's healthy, more guys on the defensive line, a better play from the secondary and Brandon Carr and Mo Claiborne. Garrett understands as though he needs to win, and if he doesn't win, he won't be back in 2015.
Todd Archer covers the Dallas Cowboys for ESPNDallas.com. Todd, thanks for the insight.
All right, thank you.
Again, at 15 starts a season ago, Tony Romo had a strong season, over 3,800 yards passing, 31 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions before that back injury derailed his last start of the regular season. You can read more about this story right here on ESPN.com. But with the latest ESPN headlines, I'm Jim Basquel.